And I asked this woman, how long has she been doing this? How many clients did she have? And she didn't know. She said to me, yeah, she has been doing this for a decade or two. She can't. She does not know how many clients she has. I mean, we are talking about sham trials here. I want to repeat this: sham trials. People who are not even Austrian citizens, who are from the Czech Republic and so on. They come in front of you, bring people in front of court and say, yeah, well, you are being charged with this and that, and if you want peace, then you have to pay something and so on. This is how these people are doing this, and then you understand that this is indeed a big deal, and this is even a bigger deal in Austria. Why Austria? Now, Austria, especially as well as Germany, because of the Nazi past. And in the Nazi past, sham trials played a crucial role. This is something you learn in history lessons. This is something you learn all over the school system as well as in the society. I mean, don't get me wrong. This is something which is not neglected. This is a big issue, and people invest a lot of time to raise the children's our children to know about the past, what the ancestors did. And sham trials were a crucial part in those Nazi Nazi in the Third Reich, where where people were prosecuted. And normally you have to be sensible for this, and and you are being sensible, or at least on the paper, or how we are being told that every student or everyone in the society would be sensibilized, or would be. But then somehow you find out, yeah, these all did not work out. I mean, it didn't, yet it still happened because it is happening in front of the eyes of everyone. Because I thought, I thought in the beginning when this happened to me, I mean, you have to be aware, sham trials, these people want to deceive you, and they are not doing it in a secret location or something. No, this is the judicial palace. This is the uh, uh, justice department. This is all happening in front of the eyes of all others, and this means or at least the conclusion I made is that these history lessons that is somehow failed. It failed because how can you otherwise explain this? And we talked the last time about Austria as a failed state. I mean, these are actually one of the reasons why this is a failed state. I mean, why is America so strong? Everyone always says, at least this is what we learned in political science. Yeah, America is strong because America has one good functioning uh, judicial system, so no one is above the law. There's these people, they don't care whether you are a royal, whether you're a Said or whatever, they prosecute everyone. But this is only half of it. If you only see in America the investment, and Alexis Tocqueville already wrote this in his book, that uh, that the Americans, that they are way more invested in their society as well as in their politics. This is true to the current state, and you only have to watch social media. And on social media, you can see a lot how in America's politics are being conducted. And leads me to a very important development. And this is a development which I witnessed in Austria. And this development is somehow, because normally this is something you assume uh, an authoritarian state, or any dictatorship always enacts some laws which would curb freedom of speech, would curb individual rights or whatsoever. So we all are focused on laws because mainly in America as well as in continental Europe. The politicians there, mainly mainly jurists, they are have more. They are there are many lawyers and have a law degree or come from this background. But in Austria happened, and in Austria this is something unique. Happened actually something unique, and this meant in Austria this is something different than in Hungary, uh, uh, where there are some not some many laws where freedom of speech is curbed, as well as in Poland or in Venezuela, where there are many laws to the disadvantage of the people are inactive. But in Austria, this was not the case. There was no need. There was no need to somehow enact any laws to curb freedom of speech, no whatsoever. In Austria, one one somehow learned that it is actually not necessary. This is in a way useless because in order to make a law just obsolete, you just need enough people who just don't care about the law, who just do not go along. And if you do not have any any functioning law enforcement, then you can make everything obsolete, even equality. And this is indeed a very dangerous development. This is a development which may or may not have started in the university. I mean, we don't know because we don't. What we need to know is how long this has been going, how many people are involved in this, because this is more than or this woman. She didn't even know how many people she sent to the scaffold or and so on and so on. So this has been going on apparently for decades. So we don't know how many victims. We don't know how deep this goes. And of course, we cannot say for sure where this all started. But one thing is for sure, and this is that the university is indeed a very important place where, because it gives role models, it gives people guidance, and this is because it is understandable that most of the victims are migrants, or are people who cannot uh, defend themselves. I mean, this is what this is aiming at. This is aiming at the weak, or even then later, which is what was in my case, where they were really discouraging you to seek legal advice or whatever, and you didn't even get any legal advice. I mean, this was all blocked. This was all blocked. You could do whatever you do, whatever you want. There was just no chance in Austria whatsoever that you even get anyone. This was striking down. You were some sort of really blackmailed, really cornered. And these people, they know that trade, and apparently they have been doing it for a while. And this was even permitted in the university. This was this judic this justice department, or a branch of this justice department, was right across the campus, or is right across the campus of the university. There is a lot of disturbing things going on in Austria, and this is I wanted to talk about this as well. I mean, we have passed our time, and how this was for me very important. So to sum up this this development in Austria, so there are indeed some weary developments within the society, and that even though we might think that it would not mean much, it means actually a lot. I mean, it meant for me a lot, because I couldn't just believe it. If someone would have told me this when I grew up in rural Austria, I would have never believed this. I wouldn't. I would have assumed something like that happens somewhere in a third world country. But who would have thought that this would happen here in Austria, here in Europe, in the middle of Europe? I mean, this is this was beyond my imagination. And if someone would have told me this, I would have said that this can't be true. And I had to see it with my own eyes. I had to experience this with 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 my own. I had to experience this to understand how important it is to have checks and balances. I mean, I had a blissful imagination, a very positive imagination of the left. And I know, of course, there are some rotten apples within the flock, and that I probably do injustice to all those people who are really uh, uh, fight for equal opportunities and justice. And nevertheless, but these few people, especially in position of powers, they could wreak havoc, and they partially contributed to Austria becoming a failed state. This is something one should not mistake. And my writing actually, because for me it was a pretty difficult situation, because I knew that if I would write about these things, they would make my life to living hell. I mean, I knew it, and and in a way, of course, you wanna inform the public, because in Austria somehow not even the news media really worked properly. I mean, but again, who would have thought? I mean, it is not to blame anyone. It just someone just, this is something you just do not expect anyone to do this. The same happened with the Americans. I mean, who would have thought, who would have believed if someone before told you what is going on in Guantanamo, or what is going on in other parts of the country? No one would have believed it, but then more and more people started to believe. However, but it was as well as to some sort of self-defense that you had to talk about these things. And of course, you have to be aware of one thing, that I don't know all the facts, and I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how long has been happening, how many people are involved in this, and it will probably uh, take years to and from a different perspective and point of view, to really bring light into the dark. However, I wanted to clear these things up. This is something I talked about the last times, and this is not the far right groups, or they were involved in this, of course, the far right groups and so on. But nevertheless, this is the left. This was the Austrian left. These were people who were left leaning, who fought for the equality of migrants, who said that migrants should be treated equally. At least this is what they wrote on their flags, and yet they did all these things. This is the end of my. This is the end of my episode. I hope next time we will, but for definite, we will continue talking about my work, my books, and hopefully, and so on. And I hope things became clear to you. I hope you are all doing fine, that you stay healthy and take care of yourself.